Hi there, in this video we're going to have a look at most common traps in French defense. Let's start with the simplest one. After moves e4, e6, d4 and d5, white plays e5, this is the advanced variation, black continues with the c5, white protects the pawn with the c3, everything is according to normal plans of both sides. And after queen to b6, white plays bishop to d3. And it's important to know that capturing the pawn on d4 twice is not great at all, because after this exchange on d4, queen on d4 is vulnerable and white can win it with the help of simple check, bishop b5. So now queen is hanging, and after black protects the king against this check, white just wins the queen. So it is very simple, but it's not the only problem with the d4 capture. So let's have a look at a bit more complex case. So in this position, if white plays the main move a3 and black develops the knight to h6, head into f5, white continues with the b4, black captures on d4, c takes d4, then the knight goes to f5, attacking d4 pawn. And let's imagine white develops the bishop not to b2, but to e3. So it's one of the possibilities here, not necessarily very ambitious, I would say, but still playable. Black continues with the normal bishop to d7 move, and now white develops the bishop to d3. So as we may notice, bishop on d7 covers the king, so there is no bishop to b5 check. So the question is it possible to capture the pawn d4? So let's have a look. Knight takes d4. White captures with the knight. Black recaptures with the knight. And now if white takes the knight, everything is fine for black. There is no check, so black will be just up a material, maybe one, maybe two pawns. But instead of taking the knight on d4, white simply castles. And appears that it's impossible for black to solve the problem because the knight is pinned and white is ready to attack it the second time with the help of different moves. For example, it's possible now to play bishop c2 because black cannot capture the bishop with check. It's also possible to play knight d2 and then knight to b3, for instance. And the easiest one is just to attack it with the queen from g4. So for example, if black plays a5, trying to undermine the pawn b4, which grabs the c5 square and prevents bishop to c5 move, protecting the knight, white simply attacks the knight already here, and white wins the piece. So in this case, it's also not good to take on d4, although black will get some material compensation from missing minor piece, but it's definitely not sufficient. Let's have a look at the other trap in the advanced variation. So, one of the typical reactions of black against white's a3 move is c4, closing the position and trying to maneuver the pieces the right way to use some light squared weaknesses on the queen side. So, white usually responds with the knight to d2 move, and the right approach for black here is to play knight to a5 as soon as possible to overprotect c4. Why it's a problem? Because if black ignores the threat of bishop takes c4 and plays something like knight to e7, also covering own bishop and hence losing the control over d6, it's possible for white to capture this pawn with the bishop. So the point being, after d5 takes c4, knight captures on c4 with the tempo. White already has two pawns for a sacrificed minor piece. The queen is hanging, so queen has to go away somewhere. And then knight jumps to d6, and it's already pretty annoying. As we can see, king has only two squares, d8 and d7. If king goes to d8, then white captures on f7 with check and grabs the rook. It's very bad, so the only sensible move here is king to d7 hence. But then again, after simple knight takes f7, the rook is forced to move to g8, and white simply castles. As a result, white has three pawns for a sacrificed minor piece. The king lost the right to castle here. It's in the center. The piece's placement is super ugly, and white has amazing advantage in the center, these pawns can move. So in 1 or 2 moves, white will start pushing pawns in the center and will finish the game with a direct attack against the king. So this position is not recommended for black whatsoever, and black should be very careful about c4 hands. By the way, pay attention that in this particular case, black had the d7 square, but the situation when white can take on c4 may happen a bit later. For instance, let's imagine that black starts with the development of the bishop to d7 in this position, and then white continues with the bishop to e2. Once again, if black plays knight to e7, this sacrifice is possible, but you can see now the difference is that d7 is occupied, so white will not only get the compensation for a minor piece, but white will simply win a lot of material because of this fork on f7 as a result. So the solution to that problem is just to play knight a5 as soon as possible, protecting the pawn on c4. Let's get to other traps. Here is one famous from the Fort Knox variation. After e4, e6, d4, d5, white plays knight to c3. Black captures on e4, and after knight takes e4, develops the bishop to d7, heading to c6, trying to solve the problem of the French bishop right away. So white continues with the normal knight to f3, black plays bishop to c6, white develops the bishop to d3, and black plays knight to f6. So in this position, white can capture on f6. And it appears that black is forced to take with the pawn, which is probably not very good, but it's the only move, because if queen takes on f6, which looks very natural at first glance, white has bishop to g5. So we can see that queen simply has no moves. But the question is, isn't it possible just to take on f3 with the bishop, attacking the opponent's queen? Very typical pattern. So black eliminates the defender of the bishop on g5 and should win the minor piece as a result. Appears that here white has very good move queen to d2, ignoring the bishop on f3 but protecting own bishop on g5. Queen still has no moves because queen takes d4 fails to bishop b5 check. We have seen this pattern already. So in this particular case, white simply wins a queen, which means that after queen to d2, black is forced to sacrifice a queen for some compensation. For example, bishop takes g2, attacking the rook and giving the queen a square on f3. So if white wants to win the material, white has to take the queen right now. But it's good, because after bishop takes h1 and say bishop to h4, everything is clear. White has a queen against the rook and the minor piece. In this particular case, it's not a sufficient compensation for black, because white has pair of bishops, position is open, so supported by the queen, these bishops will just tear black apart. Let's have a look at the other, in my opinion, most interesting trap in French defense. So, in a Steinitz variation of the French defense, after e4, e6, d4, d5, knight to c3, and knight to f6, white plays e5, knight goes to d7, f4, c5, knight goes to f3, knight goes to c6, bishop goes to e3, black plays a6, preparing the pawn storm on the queen side. White responds with the queen to d2, and after black's b7, b5, captures on c5. Everything according to the common theory of this line. Black takes with the bishop, and the old main line goes bishop takes c5 immediately, then queen f2, and so on. But sometimes, especially nowadays, white opts for another move, which is bishop to d3. And in this case, the first question which comes to mind is what's going on actually, because it feels like white lost the control over d4 square and black can simply play d4. To try to understand why this move is not so good, take your time and I'll see you in a second. So I hope you have the solution. In any case, we will just discuss the things together now. So after d4, black attacks the bishop and the knight. But it appears that black doesn't have a proper coordination of the pieces on the queen side to keep the extra material. So white can take on d4 with a knight. And here we enter an interesting position with a bunch of very inspiring variations. So first of all, let's try to understand what's going on if black captures on d4 with the bishop. So after bishop takes d4, bishop takes on d4, knight takes on d4, white plays bishop to e4 move, attacking the rook and the knight simultaneously. So if rook simply goes away, let's say white captures on d4 and white has extra pawn. Black has knight takes c2, intermediate check, just regaining the missing pawn in this case. But after queen captures c2 and rook to b8, white simply castles, and appears that white has pretty clear positional advantage here, because white is much better developed, white has advantage in space, white is ready to occupy the d and the c files, and there is a weakness on d6, so bishop is still not developed, and so on. So white has very easy play here, although the material is equal. So bishop takes d4 is not good. Let's have a look what happens if black decides to take with the knight on d4. So here, black captures on d4 with the knight. And it's no longer that simple. So it may look like white can continue with the same bishop to e4 move, but in this case, black will have just knight to b6, in which case rook is protected, knight is protected, and everything looks not so bad. So instead of doing that, white plays knight to e4 here. So the idea is simple. White wants to continue with the c3 move at some point. And another idea is just to capture the bishop, then capture the knight, and then bishop takes b5 check, attacking the queen on d4. So again, the pattern we have seen many times already. After knight e4, black has several alternatives. First of all, let's try to understand what's going on if bishop goes away. So let's say bishop goes to b6. In this case, knight goes to d6 with check, and after king to f8, bishop goes to e4. So as you can see, rook is attacked, knight is attacked, and there is no knight b6 whatsoever. But even if there is knight to b6, well, it no longer works because the d file is closed and the knight is really hanging. So this looks terrible for black. Let's get back to this position after knight to e4. So what happens if black, for example, plays queen to b6, supporting the bishop on c5? In this case, white captures the bishop again, and there are two options. So queen c5 fails to simple c3. So the knight is pinned, white regains the piece and has extra material. If instead knight captures on c5, then after bishop captures d4, knight takes d3 check, white recaptures with the queen, and again white is a pawn up. Well, position is probably not so clear because we have opposite colored bishops, and of course white will have to demonstrate the technique to convert the advantage, but well, it's pretty doable. White is much better here. Another option is to give a check on h4. Let's have a look at that one. So in this position, right after knight to e4, queen goes to h4 with check. At first glance, very annoying one, because as you can see, if white plays something like g3, f3 square becomes possible for the knight to occupy. But white has bishop to f2 move, and now the problem is the same. So queen is under attack. There is a threat of knight c5 and then bishop d4 if queen simply goes away. So black may try knight takes c2, where after bishop captures, let's say bishop takes on f2 check, queen captures on f2, queen captures on f2, and king takes on f2. Once again, material is equal, but white is much better in this position because of the weakness of dark squares in general and this d6 square in particular. So this knight will occupy this amazing outpost, the rooks will occupy d and c files, and once again, black's position is just bad. There is a lack of coordination, and it should be just an easy ending for white. Finally, let's have a look what happens if black castles after knight to e4. So after knight to e4, black decides to castle. In this case, white may try this move, c3. And black has nothing better than to jump to f3. And at first glance, it looks like an interesting option of getting some compensation for missing material because white's pawn structure is being damaged, inevitably. But after g takes f3, bishop captures, e3, queen recaptures, we can see that, okay, the pawn structure is damaged, but white is not forced to castle short. It's possible to castle long still. And the same problem remains on the board. So dark squared bishop is gone, all the dark squares are weak, and the knight is about to occupy d6. So it will be just a terrible game for black, in my opinion, which means that d4 against bishop to d3 is not a good option. What is interesting, several top players were trapped in that position. So what can I say? Just learn the theory a bit better, be aware of traps, train, practice, and you should get better results. I hope this video was helpful. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. See you next videos.